Evie, it's awesome. Congratulations. There's some really, really exciting stuff going on now. But real quick, for the folks out there, how did you transition from a B2B SaaS CMO to the founder and CEO of a recovery technology, which you're going to unpack for folks right now?
Yeah. Yeah, George, it was crazy. This happened because I wanted to do more pull-ups. And I was listening to a podcast about how to use palm cooling to improve your pull-up game. And I was like, I have to get my hands on this technique, this technology. Like, what is this? And I tried to hack it, and one thing led to another. And I met my now co-founder over a tweet about palm cooling. He had built a device that could help me get more pull-ups, and I started using it and I got more pull-ups, and one thing led to another, and here I am.
Awesome. Well, why don't you tell folks a little bit about how the technology works? Now, the narwhals are, maybe you can show a little sneak peek there. All right. Awesome. So, how does this technology work? You have professional athletes and sporting teams using this technology right now. You have firefighters and departments around the country using this. Why?
Yeah. Okay. So let me explain the physiology. In the palms of our hands, also the soles of our feet and our cheeks, we have specialized vasculature for offloading heat from the body. And it's actually one of the best ways to cool somebody down is through the palms of their hands. But the trick is you have to be holding something that is in sort of the right band of temperature. And that temperature band is ideally 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And so what makes the narwhals unique is that we can maintain that temperature band for a long time. And then these heat pipes that you hold on to are a special technology that basically it's a passive heat pump. So it's like pulling heat out of your body, dumping it in here, and helping you recover quickly. So the use cases are everything from in-game athletic performance, accelerating recovery. That's where we see hockey players using it. We see basketball, basically any sport where you have a break and you can hold on to these, it's great. And then we also see it in heat stress mitigation in occupational situations like the fire service, manufacturing, those types of things where people are exposed to a lot of heat and they need effective ways to cool down.
Awesome. Let's dive in quickly here into this amazing highs and lows induced, or I should say, the experience that encompasses those highs and lows,
Yeah.
experience that is the CEO founder kind of experience. What is that like? What do the ups and downs look like? And how do we kind of get through this?
Yeah, you and I have talked about this before, and it's like, okay, I think some people, right, like some people know how to just sort of stay neutral and experience the highs and the lows, sort of, they just take them as they come. I feel them profoundly. The highs are so high and the lows, of course, are so low. And yeah, and it's like, it's this question I always ask myself, like, am I okay being this emotional? Because I think if I wanted to, I could maybe shut down a little bit the feelings around it. But honestly, it's really human, and exciting, and just sort of part of the journey. But I have to say, like, it is a lot to go on this journey, and the things that, like, you have like wins and they're so fantastic, and then you have obstacles, and that's honestly most days, and you just have to be able to take them as they come and solve them and move forward, and the obstacle is the way. Like, that's sort of the motto that just runs through my head all the time. um and I would say that, like, the number one thing that has helped me the most live this journey is to just have a fantastic co-founder.
Mm,
That is, we are in this together, and that is, I don't know, like, I don't know how you do this alone. Like, it's not easy.
yeah. I've known a couple single founders, and first of all, it doesn't last long, right? Because it's just too difficult. You need to be able to go through the battle, right?
Oh,
With someone, it's just too hard. And so most I'm trying to think of like one single co-founder that's ever kind of been able to make it through. I can think of maybe one, and she really didn't have a tremendous exit. It was more of an acqui-hire kind of deal, and she was lucky to have some investors that were able to kind of land the plane somewhere. But it
mm,
was really, really hard, and she was constantly kind of, well, very stressed out, but also there was this dynamic of like, I am in this thing alone. Even when she did hire great folks around her on the leadership team, it just wasn't the same, right? There was this like disconnect. So like I think that like the co-founder kind of experience is so important to the organization of the company or startup succeeding. I think we all know that. We've heard that the number one reason why startups don't work out is because of co-founder issues, right? Co-founder
yeah, yeah.
disputes and those sort of things.
Mhm.
And for the folks out there, I think in like in any relationship, to have the expectation that there will not be any conflict or kind of ups and downs within that relationship is unrealistic. It's not human. And so I love that point that you made, which is like having the full human experience is the ups and downs, right? I heard something and I forgot the actress's name, but I'll sort of try to paraphrase. She was explaining that if you are of the camp that believes that we are this spirit or soul that kind of like exists before we come into this human form, and we'll sit down with like the divine forces beforehand and go, hey, do I want to go down to earth and get into like a human uniform and experience all these things? And if you were sitting there having a discussion with like the divine gatekeeper kind of individual and or entity or whatnot, and that individual or entity was asking you, okay, well, here's what it's going to be like. You're going to feel every experience, like the whole gamut of human emotions and the ups and downs and the atrocities and the joys and all this stuff. Are you sure you want in? Like if you're sitting there, you're probably going, hell yeah, I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna do this human experience. And so I remember hearing that actually last night and going, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And I think if I was in that position thinking about it, I would say, hell yeah, I want to go and experience that because that's not something that I would experience in any other situation. So I think that that's one of the beauties of this founder journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, my co-founder, Ariel, Paul, and I, we really, before we jumped into this, we spent a lot of time talking about how we wanted to work together. We talked about how we're going to resolve conflict and things like that. And I think doing that groundwork before jumping in was really important and has served us well. And
Maybe,
he's very different. Like he doesn't feel the highs and lows the same way as I do. He's far more grounded. And but it's kind of fun to have both ways of living this
yeah.
journey.
Well, maybe you need that sort of like balance to be able to kind of get through it and balance each other out, right? So, well, awesome. Well, Evie, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. I just wanted to share the awesome news and all the momentum. I know y'all are having some tremendous wins right now. If folks wanted to go out there, go to a specific URL or somewhere to grab one of the narwhals, what are the best URLs or channels or other areas that they can go to do so?
Yeah, we're apexcoollabs.com, Apex Cool Labs on Instagram. Uh, Always happy to explain to people the science and the different use cases. And yeah, we were just featured in Wired today, so riding that high for sure.
Awesome. Well, have a great day and congrats.
Thank you. Thanks, George.